Hello everyone, welcome back to Existence. Flying high over town at the moment. I love having a Elytra back, it is such an awesome thing. I'm so glad that we've finally got a pair of our own. If you missed last episode, definitely go check it out because we went and defeated the End Dragon and then did a whole bunch of end setting raiding with Eli and ISO, which was absolutely heaps of fun. But the episode was kind of recorded partway through the episode before that, so it was a bit of a mess, and the episode before the End City one was not my greatest episode. I wasn't overly happy with the result of it. I was extremely pushed for time and ended up rushing it quite a lot, which ultimately ruined the episode and I was not overly happy with it. But I've got a heap of plans for this episode, so hopefully we can make a lot of improvements to previous episodes and also a lot of improvements to town because it's kind of been neglected recently. Hasn't had much work done on around town, and there's lots of things that I want to get done so that we can further on develop the town area here. Lots of things to do. It's going to be a lot of terraforming, a lot of building, and a lot of decorating here and there. So without further ado, I'm going to head back home, grab some tools, and we're going to get right into this episode. So as you can see from the instinct rating, we got a whole lot of stuff. We had to split up our shulker shells a bit. If you saw at the end of last episode, we had to throw some away because there was a problem with the command. That gives us some more. We also got a couple of shovels. I hopefully won't die. Yeah, I should probably mention that as well. We did a little bit of a live stream where we went and saved iGalaxy from the void, which ultimately didn't work anyway. But in that process, I ended up dying to an Enderman, which kind of sucks. So we have our first death. Actually, I believe we go stats. We should have 2 deaths in total? What on earth is it under? It should be in here somewhere. Number of deaths, 2. There we go. So one of those was getting our head for the post office, and then the first one is our first natural death from an Enderman, which absolutely sucks. But yes, we have all sorts of goodies in here. We've got the dragon egg as well. Gonna do something special with that in town later on, as well as a whole bunch of awesome shovels and a little bit of armor, but most importantly the shulker shells, which is going to be fantastic. Make some shulker boxes up. Actually, I should do that now before we go doing some terraforming and such, but got some better tools in here. Here they are. Right, so I'm going to grab these and I'm basically going to be terraforming the river system to make it a bit more accessible around town. There is a skeleton horse up here. I'm not sure if it's already been triggered or not. I wouldn't say so. So we'll get up just in case. I could kind of like to keep the horses. I think that'd be nice. I haven't seen many of these around recently. Who's that stuff? It's Noah's. Oh, it's already been triggered. Oh, that's no fun. Ah. Okay, well anyway, as you guys saw in that time lapse, which is also going to be doing another time lapse by the way, I really miss doing them, we have linked up quite a few places, and I'll go show you which ones are which. Some of them weren't as apparent as where they were in the time lapses compared to some other ones. The first one we got over here is linking between the main lake here and the swamp, and then from the swamp onto the Southern Ocean. And see, they're basic just normal old channels, nothing too fancy about them, that just kind of cut through where there was no river before. So then down here, this part was quite easy because it was basically just marsh, mushy kind of swampy area that leads around to the swamp. And then from here is where it cuts across straight through the lake past the graveyard into the new canal, which I had to dig out, that reaches over to the Southern Ocean. As you can see, it's nothing too fancy, it's literally just a big trench. I do want to tidy it up later on and decorate these walls a little bit more so they're a little bit more tidy and nice compared to being literally just a trench at the moment. But it leads on through. It took a little while to dig out, but luckily ACG let me borrow his beacon, which made it a lot quicker to dig out, and I also had to dig out a little bit just over here to get out to the ocean, so hopefully that'll help out a lot. Once, I believe somebody has plans to build a harbour area here in the swamp, so hopefully this will help to really link it up to the ocean a bit more. The other two places were right here, which might not have been very apparent where we actually were, but it's between Eli's base just there and the river that links up mine. I think I've shown it before when we kind of went exploring to figure everything out. But so between this part of the river here, which links right over to my base, and then also we had the little part there that links over to our 2B new base at some point in the future, but that links up with Eli. And the other place is over here between the main lake and leads out to the Eastern Ocean, I believe it is, and already ACG, and I'm not sure if Kyle helped out, but definitely ACG came through and has completely covered this over, done some amazing terraforming, and turned it into a fantastic looking cave. I absolutely love it. I literally dug out that area, went and dug the other bits, came back, and they had already built this part of the cave, so they were moving quickly. You might have seen them run around in the time lapse there. A little bit funny. It was awesome. I love being online at the same time as other people. It really does help to kind of create that SMP feel. But anyway, so those are the two places. I'm going to try and avoid some potential spoilers here, even though I already spoiled the cave bit there because I'm not sure when everyone else's episode is coming out in relation to mine. So the river parts there were only one aspect of what I want to do this episode. There's two more. One of them involves growing a lot of trees, which shouldn't be too hard, and the other part is focusing on these pathways, because at the moment they're just primarily grass paths, and we do have a little bit of the stone path here. This is what we're going to be working on. We're going to be extending this around all the grass paths where they currently sit to. We have a basic map. It's a little bit kind of just planning, like put path here and here and here. I mean, it doesn't have to be too complex. It's just a basic path system to help link up different areas of town, and from there we can progressively kind of build around them. So I'm going to go grab all the stones and stuff. I'll use my shulker box. That'll probably make it a lot easier, and then begin work on redecorating these pathway systems. I just got back to my computer and I was dead. I didn't see the death message. Well, what killed me? mcpeachpies drowned. What? What? What does it mean what? I'm so confused. I have no idea where I was. And I could have sworn... Okay, well obviously I didn't log out, but... What? I'm speechless. I have absolutely no idea what happened. No idea. I have no idea what happened. No idea whatsoever. I mean, I do know that I'm severely annoyed by this, and it's a major setback because we lost all of our tools, all of our armor, and all of our weaponry. Which is going to take for ages to get back. That's going to take time that I just don't really have at the moment, so this is a real big delay, and it's really, really, really annoying for me. Because it's just a massive, like, the fact that I died, I'm annoyed, but it's okay. The fact that I lost everything and that it's such a big setback to the time it's going to take me to recover that gear that I kind of need, especially the tools, the armor, not so much. I mean, I did lose my Depth Strider. I might still have a Depth Strider book. I do, thank goodness for that. It's just a massive delay. It's a big delay. But nonetheless, there's not much we can do about it. Everything's gone anyway. So I'm just going to have to do some mining, grab some more stones and stuff, because this isn't going to be enough, and get on with the pathways. Are you kidding me? Why? How did it survive? Why? Oh, I just want this episode to be over. Oh no, it's so laggy. Oh, and all my stuff is up there, so I can't wait for the drops to despawn. Oh no. Oh. Why? Why is everything happening to me? What did I do? Okay, I think I'm finally all recovered. Still very salty though. So I've got somewhat of a sword back. Fortune 2 will have to do. Acro Affinity, Protection 3, Depth Strider, Protection... That I actually had from the End City, so I'm glad I had that. Repaired that, put mending on it. Basic axe, half decent shovel, and Sean was very generous and has given me an infinity bow. I'm not sure if it was him or Duo's, but lots of stuff here anyway to go through, so he was very kind of him to let me have that. Down to 24 diamonds, which is alright. Not too bad. I have a whole bunch of books I was going to enchant, but I've just been absolutely had the motivation knocked right out of me. I've died 2 times recently. So it's very demotivating when you lose your stuff, not only because you have to get all your stuff back, but because it takes a little bit of time to get everything back. I'm pretty sure I died because I must have logged out like this, in a boat somewhere. I have absolutely no idea where it was, but that must have happened. I'm getting a skeleton, shot the boat or something, and I sunk to the bottom of the river. That's the only explanation I can think of. But I honestly can't remember where I logged out, or where I left my computer. But anyway, so, now that everything has been recovered, I'm not going to die again, I've had enough of dying. Let's finally get on with these pathways. I've started a little bit here, just around the main kind of front area of the lake, just to give us an idea of how it's going to look. It's literally just continuing, or trying to continue, what Yogurt had started over here. Of course, I'm going to have to come through and do a little bit of landscaping too later on, but I think that will be happening in a future episode, possibly with some other guys on the server, just to do some leaves and a bit of decorating. I want to build some more trees. I think that's just a normal tree, but it looks like it's been modified a little bit. I can't remember who did that. I believe it was in someone's episode, but I can't quite remember who it was. But nonetheless, I am going to be just continuing this pathway around. It didn't take too long to build. It's a little bit of a pain having to do the noisy aspect to it. But it just takes a matter of time, just going around and building it up. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just go around. I've kind of dug out, as you can see here, a little bit of a trench and fill them in with that kind of cobblestoney gravel stone mix that we've got going on here. My key focus at the moment is to get the pathways around really just the edge of the lake at the moment, because there are a lot of pathways, especially when you kind of head over towards the farming area. Actually, if we head over to the map just here, kind of gives you a better idea of what we have to deal with. Also, we've got Noah's project going on. So we're currently right here, as you can see, and we've done the pathways up past the post office there. That kind of leads into the farming area here. But then you've got the whole kind of loop that runs through here. And I'm just wondering if I need to do that or not. I will at some point. I'm just wondering if I should do it as part of what I'm doing at the moment. I definitely want to get these ones done. Probably one that comes past Pineapple's house here, as well as the one just there. I should also probably link the one up by the town hall there that Yogurt's working on, as well as probably a path to my house might be good. So I might work on getting those done, and then we can kind of have a look and see how we really want to replant the forest area here, because it has been depleted quite a lot. Pretty much all the pathways that go right around the edge of the lake are done now, and I'm just kind of extending the path. You can see it just creaking around the corner there. I'm going to have it come through the little gully up there and then link up to the front entrance of our house here. I was thinking about having it come along the front of the river there, but I didn't really want to have it cross the ravine there. I wanted to leave that a bit more natural and open like it is currently. Kind of saving this part here for access by boat more primarily. So I'm just going to dig out a little tunnel here. I'm not sure... Actually, that's a good point. I should probably figure out where it's going to come out first, because if I just keep digging straight, that might not quite work to how I want it to look. I could really use some ender pearls right now. Let's just make a quick leap of faith. There we go. So over here is where that little gully bit is. I have the pathway kind of climb up here, but I need to figure out where exactly this pathway there will link up under here. Well, I've had enough of building paths now. I've been doing it for ages. This is all linked up over to our house now, and it's basically linked to all the direct areas around town, not including like the areas outside of the lake, but really just around the edges of the lake. All the pathways are done, including the one that leads up here to a nice little tunnel I've extended out. I don't have any grey wool though. Really need to get some of that. There we go, leads right into the front entrance there. Oopsie whoopsie. Right, so I'm going to move on now. I had enough of building pathways, been doing it for basically a week, and it's just becoming very repetitive. So I'm going to go and begin my process of regrowing all the trees around town here. Just because I wanted to really bring back that forest feel, because a lot of them have been cut down, and we did have the intention of building custom trees, which will probably happen later on. But for the meantime anyway, I want to just go through and really tidy things up in the forest area around here. Just quickly though, you may or may not have seen this little guy on Twitter. He was running around chasing Kyle all throughout my house, and then all of a sudden he just stopped and got stuck in here somehow. And I'm guessing... I have no idea, actually. I don't know. It's something to do with his hitbox. It's right in the corner there, like perfectly lined up. And I'm not sure if that's causing him to be, like, stuck in there and not able to track or pathfind to anyone. But he just doesn't move. He's completely aware. Like, he looks at you, but then doesn't do anything. And I'm the only one online, so he's not tracking anyone else. It's the most bizarre thing. The only problem is, though, that I can't sleep, so I'm not entirely sure... I will probably end up killing him. Actually, I'll tell you what. Rest in peace. Ooh. Okay, that was slightly more brutal than I intended. I thought I should just jump on camera first and then kill him off. But without further ado, I'm going to go and start planting up. I don't have many saplings, so I might have to go and quote-unquote borrow some from other people throughout town, but I'm pretty sure they won't mind. I'll double check anyway. I think this is a good start. It's already beginning to look much better, I must say, with all the trees kind of slowly popping up here. Even with all the saplings running around all over those plain areas, it looks kind of cool. But I think once they grow into proper trees, that's going to look a lot better. I do like how it makes it feel a lot more kind of enclosed and a lot more actually, I guess, actually in the forest, instead of just being a bit more open and plain. Not plain as in boring, but plain as in like a literal plains area. So instead of having that, I really am looking forward to having this a lot more growing and a lot more enclosed within the forest itself. I'm not sure if all the trees will grow just because of the size restrictions, but I'll keep an eye out and just move any saplings later on that need it. So I think I'm going to just continue to grow up this area here a little bit. I might also, actually I really want to focus on this middle island here. I'm not entirely sure what our plans are with it at the moment. I know that somebody has plans to redo that bridge there, as well as bridges throughout the town, but for now I'm just going to go up and replant some of the more barren areas around town. I figured it'd be a good idea kind of to get a little bit of a before and after, but as you can see down where my little person is, it's a little bit too late. A lot of the trees have already started to grow and you don't really get the effect of how plain and open it was before, which in a way is a good thing, but it's a shame we can't we missed out on that opportunity to see a bit of a difference. But I'll keep my camera count here anyway and wait for all these trees to grow up, and then we can really see a little bit of a difference, or hopefully a big difference and a big improvement. There you go, one just grew down there by Pineapple's house. So I'm hoping this will really help to build up town and make it feel a lot more in the forest, because I really like the idea of having town actually within the forest instead of being, I guess, inside of, if that makes any sense. So instead of being all open and bold, more kind of being enclosed in the forest. So let's let these trees grow up a little bit and we'll see how it turns out. Well, that looks absolutely fantastic. I AFK'd for a little while to let quite a few of these saplings grow, and I'm really happy with the result. I do want to go through and build some custom trees later on, but that is just going to take a little bit of time and a lot of resources that I just don't quite have at the moment. So for now, I'm more than happy just to go around and do what we've done, which is just grow a whole bunch of oak trees and a whole bunch of birch trees as well. It's looking really good. It's good to have that feeling of being back in the forest instead of kind of being, or I guess cutting down all the trees to destroy the forest and clear it out. So it's good to have it back. As I said, I do want to build some custom trees later on, but that's just something down the line. However, that is going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm really happy that we've got some of the pathways done. I think it looks way better with the stone gravel mix that we ended up using, as well as regrowing all these trees. Next episode, I want to get started on a big project that I've had planned for a little while. In the end, I'm really looking forward to doing it. But for now, if you can see me down here, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I'll see you next time.